What is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the 161 Report podcast. Bobby was unavailable to make it tonight, so I have my good buddy of mine, goes by Phillies Nation on Instagram. Mikey, how you doing, man?
Good, how are you?
Great, great. All right, man. So you are obviously a Phillies fan, but you were kind enough to hop on the pod with me, um, in place of Bobby. So here we are, man.
Yep, here we go.
We'll get right into it. So Aaron Judge, recently named captain of the New York Yankees. He's been all over New York, man. Have you been seeing
Yeah,
that?
yeah, I've been seeing it all over Twitter and all over Instagram.
Yeah, man. I mean, he's truly embracing what it is to be a New York Yankee. He's been earning the title King of New York. I mean, this man's been all over. He was at MSG the other night watching a Rangers game. Then he went on Jimmy Fallon, The Tonight Show, and then the very next day he was back at MSG for a Knicks game. It's been honestly truly wild to see this much publicity around a Yankee. It's honestly been crazy, and we haven't seen anything like it since Derek Jeter. And I absolutely love how Aaron Judge is truly embracing the captain role and being so humble about it. He's definitely who you want on the team. He's obviously the leader of the squad, and he's embracing it. It's been great.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he did get the key to New York, so
Oh yeah, yeah. That was I totally forgot about that too.
yeah,
Uh, yeah. I mean, it's it's honestly been such a great thing for like this generation of Yankee fans, because it's been I mean, the last one we saw was Jeter, obviously, but we, me personally, I wasn't able to see Jeter come up through the farm system and then grow into that role. But now for this generation of Yankee fans and even baseball fans too, because I mean, you can love and appreciate Aaron Judge, even if you're a Phillies fan like this
yeah,
is Aaron Judge is one of the top guys in the league, and he's just a humble guy and perfect for the team. He truly is.
yeah, definitely.
All right, so we'll get into the next topic here. The Yankees had an off season where it's been weird because they were able to re-sign Anthony Rizzo first, and then obviously extend Aaron Judge, and then they brought in Carlos Rodon, but they're kind of missing, and the pitching really wasn't the issue last season. It was the lineup, and it was exposed by the Houston Astros, obviously because we got swept in the ALCS. So my whole take is left field is still a very big need. We have some internal options, as in Oswaldo Cabrera, Aaron Hicks, even though I hate saying that name. It honestly, and with Cashman's recent comments, it's looking like Aaron Hicks is most likely going to be our opening day left fielder. But I feel like there needs to be some more urgency to fill that role. I like Oswaldo Cabrera. I like him a lot, but I feel like he would be better utilized as a utility man. Um, I mean, yes, I want him starting in left field if we're not making any other moves, but I kind of want to get your take from this. As an outsider, you're not a Yankee fan, you're not biased. So I'm very excited to see your opinion on what the Yankees should be doing in left field.
Yeah, well, they were linked to a couple guys, including Jerks and Profar. And I mean, you do have Oswaldo Cabrera, he's shown he can play outfield, shortstop, third base, really wherever you want to put him. I mean, he made some highlight plays out in right field, left field, but I definitely think you guys could add a left fielder that's not Aaron Hicks.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No, I
Definitely,
definitely agree with you.
yeah, he definitely had a rough season.
Yeah. I mean, it's truly crazy to really be, you know, kind of talking about this as a Yankee fan, because I mean the Yankees have always had one of the highest payrolls in baseball, but it just, as of recent years, I mean, we've talked about this in the Yankee community, and I'm sure you've heard of it, coming from me, coming from other Yankee fans, that Hal is so-called cheap. Um, and him not addressing left field yet, I mean, the offseason isn't over. Anything can happen. But
Yeah,
recent reports coming out, Jerickson Profar's asking price is a little steep. Um, so I really feel like we're gonna have to go with internal here, and uh, it pains me to say, but I feel like Aaron Hicks is gonna start out in left field. Um, Oswaldo, what I truly think is gonna happen, Aaron Hicks is gonna start. He's gonna lose the job. Oswaldo is going to come in, take his place, be kind of a placeholder maybe in left field before he goes back to the utility role. And then at the deadline, I feel like the Yankees are going to address left field in some shape or way. Because honestly, the only free agent that I would want right now, or even trade piece for that matter, is Jerickson Profar. I like what he brings to the team. I feel like he could be solid in left field. I mean, I feel like he's better than the options that we have. Not saying he's better than Cabrera, but he's sure better than Aaron Hicks. And, when you flip flop those guys until you can find a long term solution, you have Jason Dominguez up in the farm. You never know. So Jerickson Profar would be the way I want them to go. But what I do not want them doing, and I feel like this is going to be such a Yankee move, Max Kepler of the Twins. The Twins have been making moves. They just traded for Michael A. Taylor the other day, who was on my radar for the Yankees to pick up. Underrated move for the Twins. I feel like that's gonna fit them very well. But I feel like, and what I could definitely see is Max Kepler on this team by opening day, and that is not what I want.
yeah, I was just about to say that. I mean, like you said, the Twins have been making moves with outfield, and they have a couple of pieces that in the outfield that they could definitely look to trade. Max Kepler, including him, and I could definitely see the Yankees making that move,
Yeah,
especially
and
for the need,
mhm,
especially for the need for a left fielder with having Aaron Hicks right now.
yeah, I definitely agree with you. It's it's tough to see that. It's tough to see that not happening as a Yankee fan. Um, Yeah, I mean, as of right now, what I would do, I would go with Oswaldo in left and keeping Aaron Hicks on the bench. I like Aaron Hicks as a bench piece. I don't like him starting in this starting nine though. Um,
Yeah,
I mean, without him for the majority, without Aaron Hicks in this lineup for the majority of last year, we still got swept in the postseason. Um,
yeah,
by the Astros, who obviously have our number and have been for the last, I don't know, 4 or 5 years. So when it comes down to it, Aaron Hicks should not be starting. Oswaldo should get the job, at least to start out the season. Then you can move around pieces and see what's out there, see what's coming up at the trade deadline. Um, yeah, I mean it's gonna be crazy, but we'll have to see.
yeah,
Um, yeah. So moving on, we have one last topic for you guys. Shortstop for the New York Yankees. This was a position that we have been needing to fill for the last, I don't know, since we shipped off Didi to you guys, or he
yep,
signed with you guys in free agency. Um, Didi was always one of my favorites. He was always solid at right there at shortstop, and we never really had to worry about it because Didi was our guy, And then ever
yeah,
since he left, we tried the Glaber experiment. That was abysmal. It was ridiculous. Now we have Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, who is a decent contact hitter. He's won a Gold Glove before, but the problem is he's won that Gold Glove over a third base, and personally, that's
yeah,
where I think we should be using him.
yeah. I
For
agree.
me, yeah, good, good. I want to hear your thoughts on this, so go ahead.
Yeah, I would agree with that because I mean, like you said, he won Gold Glove, not at shortstop at third base, but you have Josh Donaldson there, which yeah,
Yeah, trust me, because I have the same idea, so don't hold back.
yeah,
Josh
he,
Donaldson needs to be off of this team.
yeah, I agree.
With him making $25 million a year, I mean, that was the worst part of that trade. And I feel like
Yep.
when looking back on that trade, you could have shipped off Gary Sanchez individually. You didn't have to ship off Gio Urshela. And Gio is putting up numbers that are equal or if not better than what Josh Donaldson last year did. And I feel like for that money, we could have used it elsewhere. and we have a higher payroll than we did last year too because of adding Rodon. So
Yeah.
because of all this, for me, what I truly want as a Yankee fan, and what I have been pleading with the front office for, is I want Oswald Peraza starting at shortstop, and I want Isaiah Kiner-Falefa starting at third base. And then as the season goes on, I want Anthony Volpe to see some reps in the majors. Because if not, and we have IKF starting at shortstop for the entire 162, we are going to have issues. And that's exactly what we've seen in the postseason and in the last couple of years. We're experimenting with guys at this position when our farm system is loaded with shortstop talent. Oswald Peraza was buried in the system because we chose IKF over him to start last year. And now here we are, and IKF might lose his job to our number one prospect who hasn't even sniffed the majors yet.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, obviously Anthony Volpe, in my opinion, he still needs time down the minors, but I feel like he could definitely be a threat in the Yankees lineup in years to come. And I agree that Oswald Peraza should start at shortstop, and you need to get rid of that Josh Donaldson contract and start Isaiah Kiner-Falefa at third.
Yeah, I totally agree. That's something that the Yankees have had issues with over the season, over the last couple of seasons. I mean, we saw it last year. This team and this fan base was pleading for us to call up Oswaldo Cabrera, and when we did, we see what the impact makes.
Yep.
He might not have wowed you on the stat sheet completely. He was more than solid, and he did something to this team. He lit a fire under us, and we ended up winning the AL East last year. I mean, obviously we have Aaron Judge going completely crazy last year.
Yeah.
But you need those pieces like Oswaldo Cabrera, and you have
Yeah.
no idea what you're hiding in that farm system until you truly bring them up. And this is a perfect example. You see what the Phillies did.
Yep. I was just
Yeah,
about to say that.
you're obviously a huge fan of the Phillies. And like I said, guys, go show some love to my guy on Instagram. You know, he runs a great Phillies page. If you're a Phillies fan or interested in any of the Phillies content, he's your guy. His link will obviously be down in the description when this video is posted. But back to what I was saying, the Phillies called up Bryson Stott, right? And he might not have wowed you at first, but guess what? Now he has completely groomed into your future of the left side of your infield. But, well,
Yep.
with the addition of Trey Turner, he's
Yeah.
most likely going to be
second
shifted to
base.
second base. Correct. But
But
go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm just saying, when Gene Segura went out with that broken middle finger, I think it was, and Bryson Stott had to move over to second base, I think he had maybe one error at second base. So he obviously showed you some.
Like promise, you know?
Yeah.
Promise over there at second base. And that's exactly what the Phillies are trying to do with one of their top prospects. And
Yeah.
this is why I brought up the Phillies as the perfect example, because now you bring in a guy like Trey Turner, but one of your rookies who flourished into his role with the Phillies, he was taken under the wing by Bryce Harper and the other vets. It was great to see as an outsider perspective, and that's kind of what the Yankees did with Oswaldo Cabrera. And you think about it, let's just say we never made that trade for IKF. You just, you let the kids play. You call up
Yeah.
Oswald Peraza, you let him be your everyday shortstop. He's gonna struggle. He might fail at times, but you let him flourish into that role. And that is exactly what the Phillies did with Bryson Stott.
Mm-hmm.
And now he is a key piece in that lineup. He's a great contact hitter. And for you guys to have him in that lineup, it's such a balanced lineup that the Phillies have with the addition of Trey Turner. And now you have Trey Turner who can also mentor Bryson Stott.
Yep.
And this is the point that I'm making with the Yankees, because you bring up Anthony Volpe, you bring up the young kids. Austin Wells will be on his way up. Jason Dominguez, and like I said, Oswald Peraza, who I want to be our starting shortstop come opening day. So, as I said, I feel like Oswald Peraza could be the next Bryson Stott. The way that he flourished into that role and got taken under the wing by the vets. Now you have a guy, Trey Turner, coming in, like I said, who can mentor him and make him a better shortstop. Because
Yep.
Bryson Stott will obviously be with this team for years to come. And obviously Trey Turner as well. Trey Turner, injuries happen. He may be sidelined. He may need some rest days. You slide Bryson Stott back over to shortstop, take his place. You got a guy like Trey Turner mentoring him. He could be even better than what he was when he first came up
Yep. Exactly.
and how he was last year. And IKF can still provide a lot to this team on the bench. Coming off of the bench is the perfect role for IKF. And that's
Yep.
the issue that I have with the Yankees, and that's the issue I've always had because they have one of the top farm systems in baseball, but yet they shove them down there and they keep them down there.
Yeah, and like you mentioned with the mentors like Bryce Harper with the Phillies, you guys have like guys like Anthony Rizzo and obviously Aaron Judge who can mentor your younger guys.
Exactly. And Jason Dominguez is a perfect example of that because we're going to have
Yep.
Judge, our captain for the next 9 years, who can mentor the young guy like Jason Dominguez. You bring him up, you give him some MLB experience. Aaron Judge is, there was a reason why he was named captain. He's going to
Yeah.
take him under his wing. He's going to show him how to handle the bigs and everything else. And like you said, Anthony Rizzo added in there as well. So while you have these guys who are playing in their prime and Anthony Rizzo, who is still a top 10 first baseman, at least in my opinion, who can mentor these guys. That's kind of my issue with the Yankees, and it's always been the issue because you're hiding these shortstops in the minors, or honestly, all the prospects when they're more than ready to be, come up and produce at the big league level. Yeah, that's that's kind of what I envision and what I want for this team regarding shortstop, left field, and how much Aaron Judge has completely embraced the whole King of New York thing. And
Yep.
man, it's exciting to see.
Yeah.
And as you said earlier, as an outsider, you're not a Yankee fan. You're enjoying what you're seeing with Aaron Judge. It's pretty cool for the game. It's growing the game, and that's what we need.
Yeah. And obviously last year the chase for 62. That
Mm-hmm.
was amazing to watch from just a baseball fan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
something all of us are gonna remember for the rest of our lives.
Yep.
And it's yeah. So having
Yeah,
him,
especially
yeah, go ahead.
especially with a historic franchise like the Yankees. You got the home run leader.
Hmm. Yeah, exactly. I definitely agree. Um, but yeah, so yeah, we'll see what happens come spring training. I do know for a fact that Volpe and Peraza both are going to be gunning for that job. Brian Cashman said that it's not set in stone who the starting shortstop is. Um, but yeah, it's going to be exciting to see. Um, yeah, and as we kick off spring training, we're going to be seeing you guys first game of the year.
Yep, first game.
Um, and then you know what? We're meeting up at the good old Yankee Stadium for the second series of the season. This is gonna be great,
Yep,
man. I'm excited for it.
yep, yeah. That's gonna be fun.
All right, man. Well, thank you very much for hopping on with me. It's been a blast.
Yep,
I definitely want to have you on again. It's been great. Talking some Yanks with you. Even though you are a Phillies fan, it's all good, man. We'll
yeah,
have to we'll see where it goes. So thank
yeah.
you
No problem.
again. It's been great, and we'll
Yeah,
see you guys in the next one.